What is going on, my bundle people, and welcome back. Yes, back to another, not really reaction video, but we're talking about some things. As you can see, we're playing around with the green screen, and I'm not against it, although the lighting is not what I want. So I'm gonna probably have to pull up my other lights, light up the green screen, and then light myself up a little bit more. But this is what we got today, so I'm not going to complain. I was going to react to a Star Wars theory video, but I think I'm just going to break down what I think. And the reason why I was going to bring it up, and I'll give him some kudos. If you're not caught up with Mandalorian, I do not recommend you watching this video if you're wanting to watch. If you don't care and you're just here because it's a Tyler Bueno music video, welcome. But last episode, The Spies, man, it was a very strong episode all the way around. But we know there is a spy for Moff Gideon who's working in the Republic. But there's a spy in the Mandalorians, and they don't really tell us who it is. We just kind of have to. We're all assuming that we're gonna find out on Wednesday for the finale. My thought is not everybody else's thought. Everyone else seems to think that the armorer is working with Moff Gideon. I said Moth for a second. I'm like, wait a minute. But working with Moff Gideon. I really don't think so. I don't see how that's even possible, given a couple of things. Unless she's got some sort of communication that no one else knows about. I don't know how she would have gotten in contact with Moff Gideon. And the way he acts too when he finds out the Mandalorians have come together, it really shocks him. So I don't think it is. I don't think it's the armorer. I think it's Axe Wolves, the one who basically took over the Night Owls after Bo-Katan lost the Darksaber, didn't get it back from Din Djarin, or didn't get it back from Gideon, and Din Djarin got it at the end of season 2, and they all kind of left, and he kind of took over as leader. And I think it's him for multiple reasons. They were doing some shady crap. They were doing some real shady crap in the episode where we see them again, where Bo kind of fights to get to be like, hey, I'm the one ruling these people. They were doing mercenary work, and it was just the way they handled it just did not seem the way that Bo-Katan would do that with her people. So it was just very weird for me. I'm gonna check something real quick. No, for some reason on this side of OBS it's really dark. The lighting's good. Over here, what's happening? It looks very bright. We'll see how this looks at the end of it. But so, anyways, the issue that I'm having is the reason why I think it's him is because of that he got overthrown. Number 2. He didn't really want to be a part of, come together with the Children of the Watch. And number 3, when they go down to the caves, they're met with a bunch of new and improved Dark Troopers, and he's the one who gets away. And we don't know where he went. We just know he went up into the crevice, never to be seen again. A lot of people have been saying about the armor too, how she just kind of bounces and gets back to the ship. The thing is, though, I thought about that. People are using that like, oh, the armor bounced before Gideon got there. But I don't think she knew. I think she was like, hey, I'm going to go take these people and then I'll be back. So we have to keep that in mind. I don't think it's the armor. I really don't. I think that's the obvious choice. They're also talking about the fact that she is somehow connected to Maul because of the spikes on her helmet. It could be that because she could have one point in time. We got to keep in mind that was years ago. One point in time could have been a Maul sympathizer. And now she, maybe she's grown. Who knows? But the issue that I'm having is people keep on pointing to her, and I'm like, there's just a lot of evidence that goes against that. I do think it's Axe Wolves, who is our spy. Now, Star Wars Theory did point out, he said that seems like the obvious choice. But, sometimes the obvious choice is the obvious choice, and so you go with it. there doesn't always have to be some big grand twist to things. The way I see how this next episode is gonna go, we're gonna have Gideon face off, either interrogation or whatever, with Din Djarin. He's gonna take off his helmet and probably destroy the helmet. Take that away, where Din has to then either get a brand new helmet, or I'm going to follow what I said and follow Bo-Katan, and kind of forget the creed at that point. It's either going to end. I don't think Din will die. I'm sorry. I think that'll be a big misstep for Disney if they were to kill off the main character. We have followed him since day one, and I know there's some rumors about Pedro Pascal being unruly on set, which doesn't make sense because everything else that he's been in, from what I've heard, he's been an absolute delight. So I don't see him being a problem. But there are people in this world that are saying that he's a problem and that Disney's going to kill him off and make Bo-Katan the Mandalorian. I think Bo-Katan is a catalyst. To be honest, the Mandalorian is about Din Djarin and Grogu, and I think it's going to be about Din raising Grogu if we move forward, and Grogu becoming the real Mandalorian that the title speaks of, the one who is a Jedi, and he's a foundling Mandalorian, and he's going to find a way to reunite these people, or maybe these people die out. Who knows? We don't know where they're at in the prequels or the sequels. Sorry, in the sequels. People are upset that they're connecting the sequels. Me, I'm a Force Awakens simp. And I like Rise of Skywalker. Not a huge fan of The Last Jedi. There's some things that I think are cool in it. But overall, it's not for me. It is not for me at all. I love the Phasma Finn fight. I think that's a cool fight. I love... man. I do a little bit of the race stuff in there. But... and it was cool to see Mark Hamill again. Not Luke. It's cool to see Mark Hamill again. But it just it misses a lot. I just don't think it's the strongest film. As I really think Force Awakens is the strongest of the three. For me, there's a lot of nostalgia, a lot of love when watching The Force Awakens. It's the Star Wars movie I saw the most in theaters. It's the one I went to go take my mom to. It's the one that I took my little brother to. It's the one that I got my wife into Star Wars with. So there's a lot of love for that movie for me, and it brought back my love for Star Wars too. Because Star Wars I loved it, but it was an afterthought after a certain point in time. And then when Episode 7 was announced, I was like, "Oh, it's coming back!" Because I didn't watch Clone Wars at the time. I was like, "I'm not into this cartoon thing. I'm not doing that." And then, sure enough, watch Force Awakens, and I fell in love. I fell in love with Star Wars all over again. And then I was so excited for Last Jedi. And then here's the thing with Last Jedi. Walked out of the theater, super excited. I loved it. I was like, "Man, this is emotional." And then saw it again. And then saw it again. Ain't showing. I watched it. And I was like, it's not that good of a movie. Like, in my mind, it wasn't a good Star Wars movie. But I was like, you know what? I've already bought a lot of merchandise. It's a Star Wars film. We're going to keep going. And then, sure enough, Rise of Skywalker came out. And I was so excited for Rise of Skywalker. And I loved it. The thing is, the story does feel rushed. And we were watching The Force Awakens yesterday. Yesterday. And the thing was, my wife put it beautifully. It's the only sequel trilogy film that feels like Star Wars. The pacing, the characters, the worlds, everything else feels off. So The Last Jedi feels off. It feels a little more like Star Wars than I think Rise does. Rise just feels it's fun. It's a fun movie. But if you go back and look at it, it doesn't feel like a Star Wars film to me. It doesn't hit the marks. I might do a video about this. kind of like my love for Star Wars. I did that with Power Rangers too. But yeah, so I kind of got off on a tangent there. I apologize about that. But yeah, I really think that is who our spy is going to be. We're going to find out next episode who it is. If it's the Armorer, it's the Armorer. But I really think it's X-Wolves. It makes a lot of sense. And just because it's the obvious choice doesn't mean it's the wrong choice. I just feel like that's the route they're going. But anyways, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think it is him? Do you think it's Armorer? Or do you think it's somebody else entirely? I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out on Wednesday. But just be prepared for more Star Wars content from here on out. We're going to do a little mix of Power Rangers, Star Wars, Stoops videos, more reactions. And I'm going to give you guys an update video after this about what is going on with the channel, with Legacy, and everything else.